Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. I hope you all had wonderful holidays. This is obviously going to be the last posting from me for this year, but we have a lot in store for 2020, which I'm looking forward to. I'm going to apologize up front for a fairly lengthy video to end the year, but there were just so many great user questions and some information I wanted to get out and that kind of stuff that I want to try to squeak it all into one video. So let's jump into the questions. There's a question in here on my sharpening stuff, and I actually recorded that a while ago so that it would make it into this. So if the footage looks a little different, that's why. But the rest of it will all be shot today. So let's jump into it. The first question was, how's the new planer and why didn't you go bigger? So for those of you that don't know, I bought a Powermatic helical head 15-inch planer. And you all know I've had a lot of problems with Powermatic. But that particular planer came into a local guy's shop and was gone through and delivered here when it was right and not before then. So I've actually had good luck with that. As far as why didn't I go bigger, it's just such a rare occasion that I need bigger. And I do have my drum sander for anything that's, too extreme. But I just couldn't really justify going bigger. Another one is y'all have noticed the new joiner in the shop. And I bought the Hammer A341A. And it has the helical head as well. It's 16-inch joiner, and that 16-inch joiner was actually less expensive than the Powermatic 12-inch, and again, because of my distaste for Powermatic these days, I was not going back to Powermatic. So the Hammer now lives in the shop. There's lots of good reviews and stuff out there on it. I shouldn't say reviews. I should say there's lots of good videos and stuff out there on it. What people like, what they don't like, etc. The only thing that I've really noticed is the fence does have a little deflection on the outfeed side. It has not been an issue yet. I've worked a few projects with it, and it's doing great. So yeah, no issues there. And that kind of leads us into what's the current situation on the replaced table saw, and of course my issues with Acme and all that stuff. So far the new table saw is holding up very well. I still don't have a lot of faith in Powermatic, and I don't have a lot of faith in that saw. But it is currently holding up and it's getting the job done. So it's slowly moving further back on my burner, just because I don't have to deal with it right now. At some point I will. As far as Acme, they finally posted the review for the table saw. They sent me an email stating that it was from multiple posts, and I think I covered that in my last table saw video, that I wasn't buying that at all. I think it was pressure from you guys, from the various forums that I deal with, and I also filed complaints with their state attorney general and the Better Business Bureau. So which was it that got them to finally do the right thing? I don't know. But that information is now posted. You can see that review on Acme's website for that table saw, and I stick by that review and what I wrote. So next question up was, how's the Clearview closet? Did it solve the noise issues? The short answer is no. It didn't solve the noise issues. It helped, but I'm going to have to close in that other side at some point. But again, now I have a table saw back up and running. That's on the back burner, again, like it was before I lost the table saw. That was just a good project to go after while the table saw was down because that was kind of general construction. I could do it with my miter saw, a track saw, that kind of stuff. So I thoroughly like the lumber storage that's there, but it did not solve my noise issues at all. And the next question up was, can you go over your sharpening station and the gear you use? And this is actually where I'm going to flip out to a video that I recorded, like I said, probably a month ago or so. But that portion of the video footage was still good, so I'm going to use that footage. And I did throw on the same shirt, so hopefully it doesn't throw you off, but here is that footage. Okay, so this is the device I built, I don't know, it's been probably a year and a half ago maybe. And it's got a little lip on the bottom that hooks in the leg vise on my bench. And this is what I use for sharpening. I use Shapton water stones, and I use them in 1000 grit, 4000 grit, and 8000 grit. I also use the Veritas MK2, which works very well for me, and I've had no issues with it. For just touch-up stuff along the way, I'll go to the 8000, or I'll just use a strop. Up until recently, I've used the strop on my Tormek because I didn't have a standalone, and I recently just purchased one, and to be honest, it's still in the box. I haven't even got it out and dirtied it up yet, but that's a good maintenance option, for chisels during use, is just to strop them often. Then you don't have to go back to your stones. But a lot of times in builds, I have this just set up in my leg vise, and I will just touch up chisels as we go. So again, that's what I use. I use the Veritas MK2, Shapton water stones, and 1, 4, and 8000, and of course water, and the little jig that I built in a video some time ago. So there you go. That's what I do for sharpening. Okay, so the next question up, which I just thought was a great question. It says, do you ever get tired of shooting video for everything and just turn the camera off and build? And the answer to that is absolutely I do. Yes, I shoot a lot of video, and I try to produce content on a regular basis. I think that's important. But I also do a lot of smaller projects and that sort of thing that don't necessarily do very well on YouTube or with you guys, and that's okay. But I still need to get those projects done. Things like picture frames, and I've shot those videos, so you guys have pretty much seen what I did there. I'll throw lots of pictures up here of some of the other projects that I've done that I didn't produce video content for. Table Lazy Susans and picture frames and reindeer for Christmas and just a myriad of things, right? So, but you guys have already seen that in the video content, so that would be making content just to make content. So I don't shoot that stuff. And I'll be honest, I do enjoy turning the camera off, pushing all the camera gear kind of out of the shop and dropping into a zone and building. I do enjoy that. So, changes in the shop. How many changes have there been? What's new? Etc., etc., etc. Obviously, the Clearview closet is new. And what you can't see is that I have added just tons of lighting to the ceiling area. And they're small LEDs, and they are kind of station focused for areas where I tend to shoot video quite often. And there's still more to add. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've added 6 so far, and I probably have about 4 more to add. And they're great for these videos because that means that I don't have to haul an extra light stand around. It's already there. I just turn it on and I'm up and running. So that has been really nice. But I'm also finding from working the projects, it turns out to be pretty cool for task lighting too. I'm not getting any younger, my eyes aren't getting any better. So having sometimes that additional light for a particular task, for instance at this table, it's come in handy a lot. Next up was, is there a reason you haven't created a Patreon account like so many others? And again, that's a great question, and it would be nice to be paid all the time for what I do, but I also can't really justify that because I do travel for work, and there are times where I don't have any content to put out, and I have to tell you guys, hey, I'm sorry, I can't put out content this week because I'm traveling for work. When I'm home, I spend a lot of time in the shop and create content, and then I try to release that, while I'm gone on the road. And because of that, I couldn't take somebody's money, knowing that I wasn't giving them anything in return. The other thing with Patreon is, you have to give something a little extra. And yeah, I could certainly throw up a lot of the videos ahead of time for Patreon people, and certainly they'd be ad-free. But again, when I'm on the road and I have no content, now they don't even get an early release. They don't get any release. So maybe after I retire, but for right now, I just don't feel comfortable taking people's money and not being confident enough to be able to produce enough content to warrant that money. So I've chosen not to do it. I really don't make money at this, but I do it my day job. So we'll just stick like this for a little while. I never say never. There will be a time where I may go that route, but now is not the time. So, like I said, this is the last video for 2019, and 2020 is coming, and I'm expecting I will be on the road for work early in 2020. So what do those videos look like? Well, I'm actually shooting those videos now, so that there's content to release. January starts a king-size bed build, and I did not want this stuff out before Christmas and the holidays because the bed is for a family member. So, but yeah, there's a king-size bed coming. February, I will have a video on a Rikon benchtop hollow chisel mortiser. When I moved to Montana and left the old shop in Washington, I got rid of my Shop Fox hollow chisel mortiser. At the time I had the Domino. I didn't use it a lot, partially because I had the Domino and partially because I didn't like the bed on that hollow chisel mortiser. Sometimes it was pretty finicky to use. But I have a couple of builds coming up, I believe in March. The hollow chisel mortiser would have been really handy for. So I decided to go ahead and order one and decided to give Rikon a try. I bought their slow speed grinder for sharpening my lathe tools and stuff. And that's been a really nice little machine. I did put the CBN wheels on it. But I think Rikon is up and coming and worth a valid look. So I went ahead and got their hollow chisel mortiser, and we're going to test drive it, and I'll try to do a review here and let you know what I think. Again, it's my money. It's not a paid ad. It's none of that. You'll get an honest review. It's either good or it's bad, or it's somewhere in between. I don't know. I haven't got it here yet, and I haven't opened the box yet, so I'll let you know when that happens. So to wrap up, again, keep sending me the questions. I love the questions. I do answer them all personally, and if they're questions I think more people have, then I'll go ahead and I jot them in my notes. And when we do these quarterly review and shop updates, that's when I bring the questions out. I don't think there's too much else going on in the shop that you guys haven't seen. It is the dead of winter right now, and I really need to open the big door and get the leaf blower out. It's dusty in here, but it's a little too cold outside to do that. So that's coming. So yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for this one, guys. And until next time, take care.